The Indiana Pacers somehow will not die, and they are annoying the OKC Thunder and their fans because Game 7 is set for Sunday. The Pacers were victorious tonight in Indiana, 108-91. OKC looking like not OKC.
Not okay.
Not okay. Exactly. Well put, Jay.
Hey.
It's Staches and Glasses. Erik Fontanez here with my cohort, Jay Watts, Justin Waters, Justine Aguas, if you will.
Bilingual.
We're here to talk about hoopsketball again, as we usually do.
Yes.
Jay, I'm gonna skip the foreplay, buddy. Get ready.
All right.
What did you think of Game 6?
First quarter, I noticed the Indiana Yesers, the summer mosquitoes.
The Yesers. That's the stupidest fucking nickname. Anyway, go ahead.
They were at the free throw line a lot. Was kind of, if you're playing a conspiracy mode game, you're like, whoa, 11-2, a lot of, anyways. But the game was still intact. I wouldn't blame that on anything. But then our buddy TJ McConnell came in. He had his Indiana shit kickers on and his hat. I don't know, but he came to work again.
He
ready
showed
to
up.
go again. And yeah, like they just took off from there. They're knocking down threes. Their turnovers were down. And then on the flip side, OKC, their turnovers were up and they couldn't throw shit. I mean, they could not hit anything. And they created that little separation, that gap, and they didn't turn around.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, OKC just didn't look like they have a fluid offense. They didn't take care of the ball, obviously. You mentioned the turnovers. Lots of points off turnovers for Indiana. 19 to OKC's 13. 21 turnovers total for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 11 for the Pacers. You don't take care of the ball, you're not going to get the W.
But this is true.
Again, if you don't take care of the ball, you don't get the W.
No W's. And,
One more time. You don't take care of the ball, you don't get the W. Did I make that clear enough?
Very clear. Loud.
Sorry.
Jeez. It was like a drone show.
A drone show?
Yeah, just right here.
Sorry. All up in your face.
Yeah. That's the coverage we're looking for, Yee.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I also, too, like, they play at home. That offense, it's clicking. Things are moving. And, again, it's that home, the home cooking. Part of me is not as, I think that OKC is going to play much better at home, and then it's, can the bench guys. I already assume TJ is going to be able to come no matter what the weather is. He's going to show up with that energy.
TJ McCollum is the dark horse MVP candidate if Indiana wins this series.
That would be wild. If he came out and had a crazy breakout game and drops 30 and has a 10 and 10 and goes triple-double and they win it, yeah. That would be an awesome story. I mean, that's one of those movie fucking type. I mean, it's right there for you, right? The little engine that could fucking wins the MVP.
All right, so let's hop right into odds then. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is still your favorite to win MVP, minus 250. Pascal Siakam is now the second favorite, plus 370.
Exorcise the demons.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Trust me.
Okay.
Weirdo. Jalen Williams, the starter, not the bench warmer, plus 1,000. Tyrese Halliburton has dropped off the MVP rankings. He is a plus 1,400. And our boy TJ McConnell, well, your boy, I can't stand the guy, plus 20,000.
He's annoying. Wow. That's one of those long shots, though. I mean, you can see the outcome where the guy will take a damn. I can see him jumping in front of a bullet, so you never know. But I mean,
These guys would sacrifice a lot to win an NBA Cup, but
Yeah.
NBA Cup. Sorry, I'm confusing it with the Stanley Cup, or the in-season tournament cup, or one of the cups.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all cupped out. NBA
The Ryder
Finals. Yeah, the Ryder Cup. All right. So, yeah, this is an interesting series because,
It really is.
like I've been telling you, I've gone back and forth with, this is not going to entertain me. Wow, look at that. Oh, it's exactly what I thought. Oh, we're back on it again. No, we're doing something different again. And now here we are on the verge of a game 7, tied at 3. And I just, it's inexplicable. It's inexplicable. OKC showed up in Indiana tonight and then looked like they basically took their foot off the gas the entire game. Like they just were like, okay, let's just take game 6 and not do shit about it. Like
they couldn't get out of the gates, man. They just got like stuck, and it just snowballed. I mean,
it really did. It really did, man. Like I just like they shot well. They had a shit ton of turnovers in the first half. Nobody shot well. I mean, both teams shot like moderately. So OKC was 41.9, Pacers were 41.3. But I think the difference here was the 3-point attempts. 15 of 42 for Indiana, 8 of 30 for OKC.
Wow.
So yeah, OKC shot like shit from 3, and that didn't help them. I think they were like, I forget what they were in the first half, but if they hit at least 4 more threes, it would have been a ball game. It would have been close, but they really just lived and died by the 3, and they ended up dying in game 6.
Oh yeah.
And free throws, 21 to 26 for OKC, 17 of 25 for Indiana. That's not great. 41 to 46 in favor of the Pacers in rebounds. But Indiana had 11 to OKC's 4 on the offensive end. So lots of stats, numbers, business. But defensively, I think that's where Indiana really made the difference. 16 steals.
Wow.
16 steals to OKC's 4. It was incredible. The steals out of the 21 turnovers, 16 were steals. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. 22 fast break points to OKC's 11. Although OKC won the points in the paint battle 40 to 30. It was basically Steve Martin and Martin Short and that Disney girl, only murders in the building in Indiana.
Wow.
That's it.
They did. They shooting the ball like that, taking care of the ball, you're going to, you're in a good position to and like you said, their defense was great. Mm-hmm. Defense spearheaded all that, and they just took them out. Now, can they contain that, bring that same energy to a hostile environment? We'll see. That'll be the ultimate test, because I feel like the Pacers are a great example of what team is. Don't ever give up. I mean, they embodied that. And, have like these 10 guys who really know their roles, and it's a great example of what a team is. It's just a whole different style, and it is, but this is why you get the best record in the league, to get that game 7 at home. And I feel like that's when OKC's, that momentum, the bench, all those little things are going to help that home crowd. The home players always play better at home, but it should still be, it's a game 7, like it's the coolest thing in sports, because literally anything could happen. Yeah. Anything could happen. So yeah, that part's cool as a basketball fan.
The other thing too was OKC's bench was absolutely absent. Absolutely absent. I should coin that.
Yeah.
Absolutely absent in the first half. They had 3 points total.
Wow.
That's just awful. Maybe they stayed on the plane. That's why they didn't show up.
Yeah.
What's up with your boy Alex Caruso?
Well,
my guy or your guy played 22 minutes, was 0 of 2 from the field.
Yeah, you got to shoot more than 2 times.
His plus minus was minus 33.
Wow. Well, we got to
life.
shoot more than twice. But like,
That's true.
he never got out of the damn game. I mean, like everybody else, they just could not. They were all stuck. Shea first quarter didn't shoot the ball great. Jay Williams was playing pretty well in that first quarter, kind of kept it close, and then TJ came in and started shooting the merch gun of Mountain Dews, hitting everybody in the forehead, and then that
Mountain
place
Dew.
that place was rocking, buddy. Everybody was wired, you know. The TJ,
Yeah.
he needs his own energy fucking drink.
What are they going to call it? White
Um,
Claw.
I don't know what I would definitely could see as like a competitor how he would just irritate you and just be like, bro, what are you doing? Because sometimes there's a
Yeah.
little of that stuff that's like extra, you know. And I guess
Yeah.
that's
I just think like the thing I
yeah,
appreciate and hate about TJ McConnell is that he brings an energy off the bench. He's
Mhm.
not like a great offensive player. He's not an outstanding shooter. He's not a
yes,
dime
that
maker. Like he's just
insane.
in there giving you a huge pop of energy, running around guys, playing his ass off, and
Yeah,
it really throws your flow off if you're on the other team. And it's just incredible to see him go in there and do that kind of thing on a game to game basis. That's
yeah,
why I was saying he's like the dark horse to win the finals MVP because he just goes out there and goes balls to the wall. And
I mean, yeah, literally does.
you can't track that on a
No,
spreadsheet. Your
no,
analytics guys
yeah.
aren't really going to be able to calculate that.
And
He's just different.
this is something too. I kind of noticed this week. So I got a bunch of kids that I coach who are trying out for high schools,
Oh shit.
and yeah, and some of them, some big high schools out here, right? And one of them made the freshman team of over at Notre Dame, and there was another kid who,
Hey.
yeah, there's another player who was doing the same. He was going over there too. Now in the league, one of the kid who didn't ended up not making the team. Dude, he was our best defensive player. You can see all of his tangibles where you're like, look, he hasn't hit that growth spurt yet. He's not a smaller kid at all. He's
How
like
big
your
is he?
average. For a ninth grader, he's probably like 5'7", 5'8". That's something similar to what I was ninth grade, right? But you can see this kid's got a little potential,
Mhm.
and so he doesn't make the team. And I'm thinking like, dude, this is the kid that you cultivate. And the whole my point is that they have a tryout of 80 to 100 kids, and it's for an hour. It's like how do you not? Because on the other side of it, I see this kid, and I'm like, look, in an hour, maybe you don't see what makes him him in that hour because he's doing all this shit. You got 80 kids there. It's very hard to see. But as a coach, I know his attitude, the kid's work ethic. He plays freaking defense. He does all the stuff as a coach you want. And I'm like, there's no reason to me why he can't be the 14th, 15th kid on that bench and let him grow. Like, let him sit there and work the development and wait till you see in 10th grade and see how much he's changed and grown. And he's in the rotation. So it was really like, kind of was thinking about how kids get lost in the mix with that. And you're like, kind of thinking, because he doesn't have the sexy numbers. He doesn't have
Mhm.
necessarily, maybe, he's not a sick athlete or like an athlete that stands out or dribbles real nice. So it's one of those things like you don't quantify these things, but as a coach, I sit there and look like, dude, this kid can help your program in the next 3 to 4 years. He's a freshman, you know? So
I
it was a
love
little,
I love how passionate you get about the kids you coach, Jay. That's
dude.
that's
Well, this,
something that makes a good coach when you really pour your heart and energy into the development of these kids and not make it about you. Like
yeah,
you're saying you coach, yeah, but you're more so talking about these players and how much potential they have and how much better they can be and how much is expected of them and how they challenge those things. Like I gotta hand it
yeah.
to you, man. You really do represent good for the coaches out there who support player development. So kudos to you, man.
Thank you, man. And this particular kid too is because we had a connection. His dad would tell me he because he was very quiet. So his dad would tell me like, hey, he really responds to you. He likes when you have him as his coach. And I was like, oh, cool, okay. Because some kids, everybody kind of some kids are more open about it. Some kids are quiet about it. So with him in particular, it was like, all right, he this guy's on my team now. It's like, there's just certain kids like that you have a closer connection to with other kids. And he was obviously one of those kids, but yeah, man. And I get pissed off when you're over here sitting there pulling this dude back. And I understand, though, it's a big school and their program is incredible. Like, they're in the nation's top argument all the time or whatever the last few years. But also as somebody who could see like, hey, this kid has something. But I appreciate the words, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, how much training are you giving them on the summoning of demons from Beelzebub, like Pascal Siakam did in his pregame ritual?
We don't touch that.
What the fuck was that? What he looked like?
Yeah.
You know what he looked like? He looked like the Undertaker when he does his ring entrance and he just takes the hat off right before he like raises the lights, or right after he raises the lights. Like, what the fuck was that? He looked like possessed Siakam.
He did. It looked a little like old school. He picked up something from the tribesmen nearby and brought it. I mean, I guess it worked for them, but
it looked like he was
careful out there, Siakam.
It looked like he was in the latest installment of the Conjuring movies.
Dude.
I don't know.
Yeah. It looked inappropriate too. You've seen the inappropriate memes already.
I haven't.
Oh,
I'm now going to look these up. Thank you.
Yeah. The Justin. Good old getting a little top. I don't even want to say it. You guys know what it is. Ask Robert Kraft. He knows what we're talking about.
When she gives you the pretzel pusher 5,000.
Yeah. The massage parlor special.
The happy ending.
Yeah. To go.
$5.99. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, but he played big despite his conjuring of demons.
Yeah, dude, he's been consistent, man.
Super consistent. Yeah. Like he's real talk. He's my favorite in this series. Like, everybody makes a big deal about Halliburton and his leg. Is he injured? Is he not? They talk about Shea because he's the MVP, great mid-range game, 30 a game. Yeah. Yep. But Siakam has showed up every single night, and I feel like he has been the one reason they have had a chance on almost every game. Like, he has shown up every time, clocked into work, said, all right, what we got to do today, and then doesn't clock out until it's time to go home. And it's incredible to see that kind of effort from somebody who's not the star of the team or who's not the alpha.
Too. Yeah.
He's got a chip already. 2019 Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard.
I'm sure that's that. He's bringing something to that locker room. They have an experience, and he's been there. That helps too. And they've all bought in. I mean, they seem like they've literally. It's one of those teams that hangs out after when you have off time, and it's like that's the time where you don't need to hang out with your teammates. You finally get a break. These are the guys who like, hey, you guys, let's get together. It's just one of those camaraderie things, and like you said, hard to quantify. The hustle part, the chemistry part, all those different aspects, and it seems like they have it. But we'll see if it. Now I was thinking too. I was like, damn, I got to think of a T-shirt idea where Carlisle is like a Jim Carrey character. I was trying to figure out which movie, so you could kind of like tie him into that type of coaching. Could be kind of Riddler, maybe, or I was thinking like Ace Ventura, like Coach Detective. Something. I don't know.
I'm thinking. You know who I'm thinking? Not even a movie character. His in living color character, Fire Marshal Bill.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, he's got the bald head. Cool.
Yeah. So patchy, yeah.
Just
let me tell you something. That was man. I used to love that character. That show, God.
Right?
That's one of those shows that we don't have anymore. We had Chappelle's Show was closest to it, but man, In Living Color had so many talented individuals.
I think In Living Color was, it was really ahead of its time, and I think with the age that we were watching it at an age that was like, oh, are we supposed to be watching this?
Yep.
Like, look at all the shit they're saying and all the things they're doing. Like, are we going to get in trouble if we're watching this? So that was part of the draw, I think, for a lot of kids our age. For me, my parents, like, they didn't give a shit. I watched RoboCop at 5, and first thing I saw was some dude get shot in the dick. So
Rambo for me. I think I went to the theater with the parents.
Yeah, yeah. I think my parents rented the VHS for me. So
nice.
Kudos to mom and dad for raising me right.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, big up.
Me too. I watched all that shit.
Okay, so
it's a babysitter.
Yeah, the VCR was the babysitter. So Game 6 is in the books. The series is tied 3-3. We're going to Game 7. We're going to OKC. What is your prediction? Call me now.
Well, damn, and I can't predict. I can't predict the Game 7. Hopefully, it's one that's
fuck. You can't predict the Game 7.
No. I think that OKC is gonna win. I think that they'll end up that it'll kind of be like game, what was it, 5? I think they'll come with that kind of an energy. I think they'll be more locked in at home. I think they'll pull it off. But then, of course, there's always in the back of my mind is like, this is what I was talking about. It's like Game 7s, weird shit happens. You can shoot terrible, but still win. The Lakers, Celtics, Game 7 was out of control, low scoring. Nobody could seem to score. And you're thinking like, we're doomed. And then you win. So in that respect, that's going to be hard because this Pacer team does feel like we said, like they're running up Everest and they could be a destiny team. So it'll be interesting, though. I'm excited because it's like you either get that side of it of like, oh, my God, these dudes pulled it off. What a crazy Cinderella run. Or it's, oh, well, all right, the young team that we thought was going to win ended up doing it. It took them 7 games. They're still young, but wow, they got a really bright future, blah, blah, blah. So
let me ask you this, because I've gone back and forth with this and never really landed on that's the side I'm leaning on. But they're the second youngest team in NBA Finals history, right? Does that really matter? Does that team really give a shit? Does it really make a difference as much as people are saying it does? Like, where do you land on the fence, or what side of the fence do you land on?
I think for Shea, he's 26. It's not like, Jay Will's 23. I think if Shea was 23 and this is the second, third year in the league, I think it would be like holy shit, these two dudes are literally 2-3 years in the league, juniors in the league, so to speak, and they're there. Shea's still young, but he's like right at that starting to break through to your physical peak or whatever. What do they say? 27, 28 is like you're at the top. So it's impressive, but in this type of basketball these days, I don't think it's like a crazy thing. Like, yeah, I would say like, hey, they're the second youngest team to do it, but I don't know. I'm not sure I'm all the way in as far as like over praising that part of it. But yeah, it's great, and they're young, and they did have a great season. Like, it will be one of those topics of like, hey, this team this year, they pulled it off. They had a great run, and they deserve it. But I don't know to necessarily like, what would you crown them as like the greatest youngest team to ever do it?
No,
that gets like,
that's a worthless title.
Yeah, it starts getting so like nitpicky. It's like, no, they won a championship team. You compare them to other championship teams, and I don't think that they would be considered one of the greatest championship teams ever. But it is cool to be like, hey, man, these are one of the youngest, second youngest team to ever do it. They pulled it off. Now, if they win 2 or 3 in 5 years, then I think it becomes like, all right, now we're talking a little bit more solidified history. Like, hey, these guys they didn't run 1. They ended up winning 2 or 3 within a 5-year period. That's a little bit more stuck into the history books for me. But I'd say it's a great year. They deserve their kudos, but easy with the, greatest all time or like I
don't think anybody's considering them the greatest team of all time. That kind of title belongs to the Warriors and the Bulls and all those guys.
87, 88 Lakers. True dare. You tried to leave them out.
Well,
wow. Kobe, Shaq. Wow. Proceed.
Stop.
We'll sidebar later. This is out of control. Man.
You'll get your chance to talk about the Lakers. I promise.
All right.
You're gonna have your opportunity. We're probably gonna make a social media clip out of it.
Ooh.
But just relax for now.
Like candy.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
It's like candy. Sorry.
That's okay. Have your moment. Have your moment. This is your safe space.
This is a safe space. We always talk about that.
Okay. Now, what I was going to say about the youth thing and the youngest team in the NBA, I'm not sure it really makes a difference at this point. If it really did, I feel like they would have burned out in the second round, kind of like they did last year. Like last year, you probably had more leverage to say, "Oh, it's a young team, so they're not going to be able to make a deep run." But this time around, they learned from that. They have arguably top 3 best player in the league in SGA. I think they're equipped to win a chip. I mean, especially having the best record and making it to a Game 7 in the NBA Finals this year. I'm not going to disregard the fact that a few of their players have to continue developing, i.e. Chet Holmgren. He needs to work on some stuff, including eating bread. But I still feel like this team has the components in this NBA to win a championship now and continue winning championships, especially with Shea being the age that he's at, mid to late 20s, really about to hit the prime of his athletic career, just like you were saying. So, yeah, I think OKC could really do some great things over the next few years. But I'm also curious to see what Indiana develops into over the next few also, because we're talking about a team that has been consistently underrated. They're always the underdog in every single series that they've gone into this season, this postseason, I should say. And nobody gave them a shot, but here we are, Game 7.
Yeah.
As Lewis, what did Lewis text? Where I was like, did he?
As the best words in sports.
He said, "Here, hold on. I got to read this so I could give him shit for it later." Most beautiful words in sports. Game 7. He literally texted that in the chain. I was just like, "Did you chat GPT that, or did you?"
That's off the dome. That's off his dome.
That off the dome, off the cliche. That's where it was off of.
I mean, sometimes you got to borrow. Take it off the hanger. Got to take that shirt off the hanger and wear that, pup.
Boy, Louis Sayo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Louis Sayo. You are a filthy casual, sir. I don't know if you've ever heard his podcast, by the way. Two fanboys and a filthy casual.
Yeah.
I suspect that he is the filthy casual.
Yeah. It's a cool little... You're casually filthy. In a good way.
Or overly filthy.
Wow.
Sorry, but when you got a dude banging you.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, when you down low banging you. Come on, man.
That's Erik as me at practice. I was flustered. I was like, "Oh, I forgot. I got to stay on my. Everything is got to be ready out there.
You really have to stay on top of your game, man. Otherwise, you'll get confused, like the difference between Frozone and Mr. Freeze."
I did, because to me, Frozo's cooler. So that was the first thing that popped up when you started talking about Frozen.
Hey, man, and Frozone is cool. I will give you that.
Frozone's chill. I like that guy.
Okay, so we're okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you in the middle of your Frozone rant.
No, it's okay.
But regarding Game 7 in OKC is still favored. Clearly, you're picking them. Where are you going to rank this team in terms of like winners? This not even this decade, or I'm sorry, not this century, but this decade, because we haven't had a back-to-back champion in a long time. Where are you ranking these guys in terms of championship teams that have won this decade?
If Shea pulls off so he was the scoring champ, the MVP, and the finals MVP in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive to me. That's pretty. I mean, it's like the Triple Crown, right? This guy took home fucking everything that says I'm the best, and then he has the championship ring, so belt, whatever, at the end to claim. So, out of the last 10 years, I don't think that they're going to repeat. I think that's going to be. I feel like we're in a place right now where I don't know.
You don't think they're going to repeat?
No, I don't think they're going to repeat next year.
That's interesting.
Oh, come on, guy.
Even with OKC, I mean, even with OKC getting better over the summer? Like, you don't
But
think
that's the
that they're
thing.
going to
Like,
have some
I want to.
progression?
I would like to see what they do because there are some teams that do very minimal tweaking because they want to chip, and then there's teams that make like this trade season. They made the right moves. They got Caruso. They got Hartenstein. So who are you letting? Who are you letting go? Who are you picking up? That's key to see too. But I think that they got there's always a lot of little elements into winning a championship in a year, and something's got to break your way, and I just don't see that happening twice. But I do like that Shea has put the world on notice that the mid range is super crucial and important to basketball. We don't have to live and die by shooting threes all the time. So,
Well,
that was cool. That was cool
they
to
tried.
watch.
I think they tried doing that in Game 6. To be fair, but yeah, I really appreciate how he's brought the mid range game back into the spotlight and have it be a topic of conversation, because too many times we've talked about, either getting to the bucket or shooting threes, and even people, all over our socials are continuing to say like, but the three, this and that, and it's nauseating. It really is nauseating. Like, complete basketball players can shoot from 2 feet, 15 feet, and 27 feet. Like, you have to be able to shoot within all those ranges in order to be a complete player. All this bullshit about three and drive is too much.
We need three level scores back.
Yeah.
You need to
and
be able
Shea
to.
is that.
Yeah.
Shea is that. Interesting to hear that you don't think they're going to repeat. Is that just because of the trend of no repeaters this decade, or
yeah?
Go ahead.
I see that part. I think that the last 10 years, like, we haven't seen anybody repeat in a while. So I feel like the league has got a lot of parity right now. It is open, and like I said, like every year, something happens. Somebody goes down. Somebody doesn't have to play somebody else that they very well may have to play the next year. So I don't think that it's like we haven't seen where a team gets a nice little lineup to get to the finals. It happens twice in a row or 2 years in a row. I was like, I don't know. And plus, I'm a homer. My team is going to be ready to go. They didn't have to see us this year. And now we're going to retool a little something. So I'm not, but yeah, we'll stay with more of the parody side. Okay. But I got cards in my back pocket too, E. All right. Don't tell Vegas. I got a little stack back there. A little something.
Watts, you continue to amaze me, and that
Bobby
is why
Fischer
I love
with the cards. Sorry.
What are you smoking?
Nothing. Good old California pollution.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, I'm gonna give you your opportunity now, man. Your Laker talk. Stop it.
I know. I'll be all business.
All right. The Los Angeles Lakers have agreed in principle to sell their basketball team. Well, the Buss family is selling their franchise that has been in their family since the 70s to Mark Walter for an estimated $10 billion.
Bro.
Mark Walter, not Mark Wahlberg, as you've mispronounced.
No trace of that.
Owns a lot of stuff. The Dodgers, for example, believe his group also owns an F1 team in some sort of capacity. They own the Sparks.
FC Angels, I think, too.
I think they have a stake in Chelsea. But anyway, from the Premier Football League for all those Euros who love the football. Yeah. So what does this mean for the Los Angeles Lakers, man? I know in the chat you were like, what? But realistically speaking, like, how do you envision this sale affecting the Lakers of Los Angeles?
Well, first, we're not through mom and pop banking anymore. So now we have cash. Now, it doesn't mean, obviously, that we could pull the same maneuvers we did with Ohtani, what he did with Ohtani and the Dodgers, and deferring payment and moving money around. That's baseball. We have collective bargaining. Shit's different. So I don't expect us. I don't think he'll be fine with, hey, we got to go over a threshold. We're going over a threshold. We got to pay over here extra. We got to pay a little bit over here. But the main improvement I feel like is everything else that we weren't doing necessarily before with the mom and pop budget. So we don't have the biggest room of scouts. We don't have the greatest facilities or the extra trainers, the shooting trainers. We haven't had a shooting trainer since Mike Penberthy, supposedly. I read.
You don't have the
And
best facilities. Isn't there a facility in El fucking Segundo?
there's the facility in El Segundo, but he's saying like basically you have your athletic trainers, there's other teams that have multiples of all these things. And for the Lakers, for their brand, for how big they are, you would think that we would have vast amounts of
Lots of resources.
everything, but we don't. We don't have a huge scouting room. They don't have a huge analytics department. So that's where all the advanced metric stats, blah, 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 that type of stuff, the extra eyes in Europe, scouts, the extra eyes in South America, scouting, all these little aspects of how they're building the team and the business stuff is going to be ramped up. And also, I mean, and Jenny staying, it's not like the Mark Cuban situation was like, yeah, wink, wink, you're going to stay and you're going to run shit. Supposedly this is in writing and it's been verified or whatnot that she's going to stay around and be a governor for a few years. Who knows what that looks like? They said until the end of the last 15% or 17% that they owe that he buys out, that she'd fully transition out or whatnot. So whatever, we still get Jeannie around, but we have more people in more areas. Now, interesting is like, what do you do? How does Pelinka feel about this? How does a general manager feel who builds your team? Now you have more people in these rooms. So those things are kind of interesting questions to me too.
What do you think happens to Pelinka?
I think they'll give him I think they're going to give who's in place. There's got to be a timeline, and I'm sure they'll give him till next summer of like, hey, show us by next summer that we could be where we need to be. But I'm at the same time, I feel like this dude is still going to bring in, every other way he's ran his business is it's the best people doing the best shit. And them all working together. I mean, that's what he's got these Dodgers doing and everybody else. So there will be some changes, and that stuff will be interesting to see the politics of that, like the business side of it. And he's the majority owner. The guy paid $10 billion. So it's going to be hard to be like, hey, I can't tell you like, hey, I don't like how this is moving. We're going to do this. So that part, having a little more money, resources, like you talked about, amped up, I think all those things are going to be more beneficial to the brand itself, as far as like players and having that top, because there's guys like Cuban had a reputation of having the best shit for his players. Ballmer was another one, top-notch shit for all his guys. So it's kind of like a little bougie part. That part we sold it for a long time, that we have like all the Scrooge McDuck funds in the back, but we were still mom and pop. So it's like some of that might have been smoke and mirrors. Maybe we put cardboard pieces that look like real coins back there. But now, now we got, the genie married into some money in a telenovela, and now we're in a different financial space. So that's exciting that that we're not going to be fancy cheap, or like, I don't know, what would be the term? Like live in a really nice fancy neighborhood, but we still at the 99, baby. We still at Big Lots.
House poor.
Like that.
Yeah.
So we were yeah. And now we're not. Now we're moving on up
to the east side.
Woo.
$10 billion valuation. That's the highest in NBA history.
The highest.
Highest.
And we
what did Chad say?
Boston. Was that 6?
It made Boston sale look like a used car sale.
Bro, they sold him a lemon or what? No, Boston, you're not bad like that. That's cool.
No, you guys are great. Speaking of lemons, do you remember that commercial? No, you won't get a lemon. I wouldn't have got a lemon.
Yeah,
at Toyota Orange.
Yes, I do remember those commercials.
That shit always pops in my head when somebody mentions the word lemon. But anyway, I digress. You were saying?
No, yeah, man. It's exciting. I think we're gonna make some. I think it's gonna have more. I think we're gonna get out of the BS of like, why Linda Rambis and Kurt Rambis are making like executive type decisions and moves like that we've heard that as a Laker fan the last few years, and you're kind of like, some of the old tradition stuff doesn't always translate, and in business it's much different. So I'm glad that we're kind of moving out of that part and getting some smarter heads in the room.
I think some people appreciated the kind of family structure that the Lakers organization really had, because if you were loyal to the organization and you were a figurehead, like they took care of you.
They did.
And I think that was really Dr. Buss's vision when he bought the Lakers way back when. He wanted it to be a family thing, and it really was for decades. And they were successful during that time. What did they win? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 championships during the Buss. No, sorry, 11, 2020. I'm forgetting about the bubble chip.
Yeah.
So they experienced success during their run.
For sure.
They did some great things, but I think some things can become archaic in a way of doing things. Sometimes needs to change. Maybe this is the change that is really going to spark some difference in the Lakers organization. I'll tell you this much: they got to hold on to Bronny James.
It's gonna be hell to pay. Not about the Bronny James, but just general.
Yeah,
executives aren't happy right now.
No, they're not.
And I love it. I fucking love it. That means more hate. I can't wait. Hey, Randy. Turn away. Yes, I'll wait till it's a little foreshadowing. It's a little foreshadowing. Call me now or tomorrow. I do foreshadowing too. Oh God, I can't wait. It's gonna be sick.
I was waiting for your call me now.
Oh, it's always got an appearance.
So the Lakers are getting paid for their value. Some might say it's above their value, but I won't start that argument.
No, I think that's why too. She was probably like, I bet you there was offers that were around 6, 7, 8. But when somebody comes at you and is like, bro, I'll give you 10 bill.
I didn't even know the Lakers were on the table. This was a surprise to me. I guess like out of nowhere.
He came as a small ownership in 22 or 21, like a small fraction or a small piece.
Minority, yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure people were just like, hey, they want to boost. I didn't think that they thought that they would sell completely like they have. I didn't think that they would. I thought that she and the brothers and all of them would hold on to that thing until, almost to a mistake, right, or a fault of it sinking, and like still holding on to it. So I'm glad they made their legacy. Their dad's legacy is set forever. He changed basketball and what it was with cheerleaders in LA and Showtime and all this shit. So I feel like that's for their family too. Look, you guys, you kept this thing running. Your dad passed. You still kept it running, and you sold it for $1 bill. That's a victory. 10 bill. That's a victory. Go out, chill. And she's still going to be around for a little bit. It works out.
I question whether Jeannie's going to be a public relations piece. That's it. She's just going.
That very well could be for a couple of years to keep.
Yeah.
So everybody feels safe.
But also, I don't know if she cares. Like I honestly, I know she loves the Lakers, but I don't really think she gives a shit all that much about running the organization still after purchase. She might want to just go, retire comfortably. Like, she was always meant to be. So we'll see. But congratulations on new ownership, Jay. I know you're really excited about that.
We just pulled off the lot.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of jealous. Because I was looking up, I don't know why I did this, but I was looking up James Dolan today.
Oh God, why go down that rabbit hole of despair?
Because I was ready to feel pain again. That's why. I looked up to see when he bought the Knicks. I thought it was in the late 90s, and I was right, 1997. Oh, look, my cat's back. He is ready to say hello again.
What up, Radio Cat?
Radio Cat. Meow. Say hello.
Man, look at that laser focus on the mic.
Yeah, seriously. Anyway.
Sick.
Yeah, looked up Dolan again, bought 97, and there's been nothing but repeated struggles since then.
28 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I cannot stand the fact that this man owns the New York Knicks and makes decisions based on his, I don't know, like fucking cereal that he ate that morning. I don't know.
Well,
And now we're in a situation where we don't have a coach. We got a draft coming up next week.
he was busy when the Sphere was going up and it was all that, because he's the guy who owns the Sphere in Vegas. He was busy. He was like a kid, like, playing with his toy. And it was like, hey, cool. Last 4 or 5 years, he hasn't really been around. He's got a big project going on. Cool. Let's let the basketball people handle the basketball people. You guys have been competitive. And then also, hey, the Sphere's been doing great. Maybe I'll get my ass back into basketball and poke around over there with the Knicks.
And then just blow the whole fucking thing up.
He's like the baby from when they got blown up. Honey, I blew up the baby.
Honey, I blew up the kid.
That's him over there with playing with his Sphere. Now his Sphere's done. He's coming over here to just wreck Manhattan.
Coincidentally, that movie was supposed to be located in Vegas, just like the Sphere.
See?
Fucking
all comes
stupid.
back. Oh, it's a big circle.
James Dolan, go away. James Dolan, stay away.
We got to make a song. You need to make a song.
I will. James Dolan.
Oh, right on the spot.
You're a cunt.
Wow.
I hate your face and your jazz sucks. Fuck you, James Dolan.
Oh, I remember that story. Him financing his own little jazz band.
Yeah, his own
Nepo
little band.
Time. Oh, I saw that special. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I'm sorry. If you want to come on over and hang out with the royalty regal colors of,
Purple
kings and queens and shit, it's gold. It's Pantone 123C. Hello. Check
you
the Instagram
memorize the
post.
Pantone?
I mean, it's easy. It's 123C. I mean, it's not that hard.
I mean, yeah.
Pantone 123C. Just type it in, bro, and then your Laker gold is right there.
You know what? I'm actually going to.
Good. Do it.
Pantone 123C.
Yep.
It says yellow.
Oh my God!
It says no. It said yellow.
You don't know, guys. Eric's search engine is
it's
ran
Google.
by some
Google told
AI guy came on there. Well, that's not what it is. It's Laker gold. I've already coined it. That is their Pantone color on their website. That's their Pantone, bro.
Okay.
And now I call it Laker gold.
Okay.
Somebody needs to put their foot down, so I did. And there we are.
Okay. So I'm just going to read you what Google AI is telling me. All right.
This will show that the computers don't know what they're talking about.
The search prompt was, is Pantone 123C yellow?
Of course, guy. Why you're already giving this chick the wrong info.
What are you talking about? I'm asking if it's yellow.
Put Lakers Pantone colors.
No, I'm asking specifically, is Pantone 123C yellow?
Okay.
And the result is yes.
That's
Pantone
subjective.
123. How is this subjective? It's subjectively answering.
She's AI. She doesn't know exactly when does it flip from yellow to gold. At what Pantone number or hue does it?
I can't.
She doesn't know either.
I'm not making this up, Justin. It's saying yes.
I know.
Pantone 123C is a yellow color.
God.
Specifically,
this is why AI
it is a
bad.
bright neon-like yellow. The Pantone system uses a specific code 123C to identify and designate this particular shade of
It's
yellow.
Not bright. Go to my Instagram page, everybody. Check it out. JustWater_t-shirts.
Just Google it yourself.
You'll see the actual color. You tell me that's yellow. Please comment and like below. Subscribe. Do whatever. Just look at it and tell me that's fucking.
I love how you
highlighter yellow
shout outs. Like,
are we kidding?
I'm not kidding. Like, do you want me to share my screen?
No,
I'm
I
sharing my screen.
No, this is the problem with AI.
I'm sharing my screen, Justin.
AI does. She doesn't know everything.
Look.
She wasn't outside. She was inside napping.
Look.
Yeah. Eric has shared his screen.
Yep. Look at that.
Pantone is a yeah.
Yeah. I read it and I read it to you verbatim.
Okay, go to find a color on Pantone and click on that.
No, I'm not going to do all that. We've talked
don't
about this
click on
enough.
the actual Pantone
No,
website.
we're not going to
Ask
do this.
AI. What's her name? Amber AI. What's her name?
Just Google. I just Googled it, man.
Okay, well, you tell Gloria, the Google search AI person, to go to my page, and I'll understand that's what gold looks like, not yellow, not highlighter yellow. It's the problem with AI, guys. If you don't give it context, it's going to put you down a road of destruction. You got to prompt these things, guys. Service announcement to everybody listening. You got to prompt AI, or they're just going to take your shit and run somewhere. Then you're going to have to put her down like old Yeller. Starting to get out of hand. Talking about not listening to recoding. Excuse me?
My goodness.
Fucking computer. You're shut down.
Goodness.
Now.
Justin Waters.
Tech rant over. Be careful of AI, everybody.
Do you want to talk about basketball again?
Yeah, because that's why they don't dabble there. So let's go back to the humans again. Let's go back to
we actually have to come back to AI after we're done with this conversation. But
oh man.
Your boy Kevin Durant. Insiders say
easy money sniper.
Insiders say that it's a shit show in Phoenix. They can't get anything for him that they want.
I think they want too much.
Well, I think that's what they're saying is that, hey guys, we have Kevin Durant. Yeah. And everybody else is like, yeah, he's been in the league for 18 years. We know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of instant upside, but not a lot of runway with Kevin Durant. And this is what the insiders are saying. So John Hollinger, longtime NBA basketball head. I think this is just a classic Phoenix shit show, he said. They thought they were going to get stronger offers than they're getting, and now they don't really know what to do. Hollinger went on to say, and by the way, I'm getting this off of Yahoo Sports. Hollinger went on to say that the Suns don't have to trade Durant and that keeping him remains an option. Of course, the Suns don't have any obligation to trade Durant if they don't want. They're not required to, said Hollinger. The only thing is he has 1 year left on his deal. He can be a free agent after the year, so he has some leverage. For Phoenix to walk away with nothing from KD is a tough one. Yeah, I'd say that's a tough one. Also,
so what are some offers? Let's, because there's a couple that you're like, if you're the Suns, you're not keeping them through the whole year. Obviously, stop parading around like we're gonna stay on the team. You're not trying to have that in the locker room. It's let him, you got to cash in for what you can get. But what I would like to know, like,
well, I would tell you to Google it, but you don't trust Google anymore.
No, I want Google to take me to the normal site that a human was running, not where the AI answer in the top.
How do you know the website wasn't developed and copy was written by AI?
Research, bro. I'm over here Googling, scanning, rescanning, because you can't trust Google. All right, you know what?
Right, what?
Let me see some KD trade offers.
You're the 78-year-old man that uses Bing.com to search for this information. Listen, I tried to look up KD trade offers. I couldn't find any. One, because I'm too lazy, and two, I found something
potential
even more
trade
interesting.
Packages.
Oh wait, hold on. What's the source? What's the source?
Oh, whoa. That was a video. I don't need a video.
Okay, moving on.
5 deals. 5 deals. ESPN.
Okay. Well, what are they?
5 deals. Latest on his future. All right. Houston Rockets. Suns get Dylan Brooks, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, Jacques Landale, and the number 10 pick in the 2025 in 2025 first round pick in 2027. Okay, that's not terrible. You have nobody. At least you get a couple young talent. I'm not a huge Brooks guy, but that's one.
Yeah.
Miami.
Fuck Dylan Brooks.
Suns get Nikola Jovic, the other baby Jovic. Andrew Wiggins, 2025 first round pick via Golden State. 2030 first round pick via Miami, and a 2026 second round pick via the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Nets, and then you have the Nets in there. They get Duncan Robinson, Keshawn Johnson, 2020, whatever. So You see what the Suns are getting there.
Mhm.
Wolves giving up Rudy Yogurt, DiVincenzo, and Rob Dillingham.
Oh, DiVincenzo. I
I
want him to
mean,
come back to New York.
like these are still, I don't know, the Knicks, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson.
Well, the Knicks are out of it. Like they're not even in the
This
play anymore.
Suns get for the Spurs, Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, 2025 first round pick. So you're still getting
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Dallas supposedly Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, Derek Lively, 2028 first round pick. If that's what the Mavericks are giving up, I'm taking that. Why
Yeah.
for the Suns? Why not? You get 1, 2, 3, 4 rotational guys and a pick, 2028 first round pick. I don't know. I think I'm doing that. So I feel like it's all this all posturing, but there's stuff on there that they would get something back. It wouldn't just be like 2 bags of chips and some Funyuns. Like they'll get some. They could. The Suns are kind of like you have no young talent. You don't have a bench. If you could get 3 to 4 or 4 or 5 rotation dudes, sorry, go for it. You got to do what you got to do. Like after you got to keep holding on to it, thinking that the value is going to go higher and higher, and then you end up going the other way. So I don't know.
Well, here's what I found that was of interest, and it's very on brand for me, and you'll appreciate this. Kevin Durant trade odds.
Here they are. Where's the top spot?
Well, let me work from the top or the bottom up. Top 5. Raptors are at plus 500 to land KD. I don't have any packages to offer with that, but
quickly was Barrett. I heard quickly Barrett.
Yeah,
and then
RJ
maybe
Barrett,
one other person on there maybe.
Okay. The Wolves are at plus 350.
Okay.
And they're tied with the Spurs at plus 350.
Spurs
There's nothing but
fooled.
upside. There's nothing but upside for San Antonio on that trade.
Yeah. You get
That's
rid
like
of
a
Barnes,
win.
he's a vet, but then that young guy, but you're getting KD right now
Yeah.
to go with Wemby and they still got Stephon Castle, the rookie of the year, and then
they got Fox.
Man, they're ready. That's I think the best spot as far as basketball wise for him.
Rockets plus 250.
It's another dangerous team too. Ooh.
And here's where I'm worried he actually will go. The Miami Heat plus 250. That's not a win now situation.
Well, I mean,
they're not.
They'll have Bam, you'll have KD and Hero. That's your top 3.
Hero is I don't know, man. Hero,
I don't
Hero
think he's
is a little
superstar.
too inconsistent for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think but he has shown that he could kind of run. He can still distribute the ball and score. But if you have a guy like KD, I think that takes a little more pressure off of somebody like Hero. But it all depends on who's going to be in that 4, 5, 6, 7 spot on the rest of your team to really, because the East, like we talked about, is open though. I feel like the East is probably thinking, a lot of these teams are thinking we're 1 or 2 players away from being pushed right up in the top 4 in the East. And Dame Lillard's out next year. Tatum's gone next year. The Milwaukee really doesn't have anything. Boston's going to move some guys. They may be competitive, but I don't think they're in championship run. So the Knicks are there, but again, their hole is the bench. So everybody's kind of neck and neck in that Eastern spot. Magic made a move. I don't think they're done either. So you might as well just go for it.
The Desmond Bain tsunami of players moving to Orlando. Okay.
They definitely overpaid on that locker. Storage wars. They definitely went over on that one. But for them, that's what they needed right now to be. Again, they're going for it. I don't think they're done either. It's going to be so much movement. It's going to be crazy to see these teams.
I'm really looking forward to the summer movement.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really excited to see where people land.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be either brilliant or an absolute fucking bummer. So we'll see.
This is true.
Okay, so I really have to ask you, because we were talking about AI earlier and you got up on your soapbox and you're like, this is why you can't trust AI. Are you one of those people who think the Terminators are going to rise and try to enslave humanity?
No, I'm not. I'm not that far off the deep.
Are you
deep
sure?
End.
Are you sure?
No. No. I don't think like there is a credible, like, you look at it, sometimes you could think, worst case scenario, these fucking, didn't a robot in China attack somebody already? Like, I'm not saying that they're gonna, it's a movie status where they're gonna come over the horizon and chop us to death. I'm saying that with AI, there's same thing with ChatGPT. It's the whole thing of like, you either telling ChatGPT, hey, write me a paper on fossil fuels, or it's like, hey, look, I wrote this I wrote this whatever amount of information on fossil fuels. Can you, and you prompt it? Yeah, it could be a good tool. It's good for us. It'll work. There is a part of me on the artist side that you're like, I like the human creativity part more. Like, I think that the human mind could kind of create things necessarily that maybe we did it because great quote by, it was Rick Rubin was saying, don't you ever think that, like, what AI can't do and what a human can do is, there's supposedly no answer to this equation, but a human will create a solution for this. He's like, you'll break a barrier to make something happen, and he was like, the AI, it's not trained to do that. It's always to find that one whatever solution. And humans, that's what makes us so different, is that you could come to this thing, like, two things are just not working, it's not working, but the human will make it work. So, but then again, we got more. We don't, I think, again, as people, we talked about the technology's faster than us. So I don't feel like we've gotten ahead. It's like the Wild West, and we haven't got ahead of, like, actually putting rules and some, like, laws into place where these tech bros who are dumb smart and can't just go over here and, create the little Tesla bot or whatever, these little robot guys they want to train to take over. So there's a lot of moving parts here. But that's, again, where humans could be really genius, and then also just really, like, the tech's too fast for us, and we're not policing it right.
So I did a little experiment just now, and I asked ChatGPT. I did. I said,
did you listen to me?
No, it didn't listen to you. I typed in a question. It's not listening to you, Justin. Calm down.
I was about to say, yeah. He would team up with me. Okay, proceed. What'd you ask the guy?
I said, is Justin Waters of the Staches and Glasses podcast paranoid about AI taking over? And I kid you not.
He doesn't know me.
Well, I kid you not. This question took the longest for ChatGPT to answer for me.
That's right.
Than any other question I've ever asked it.
Because he doesn't know daddy.
Well, that's what he said. He said, she said, I don't know. I couldn't find any interviews, clips, or statements suggesting that Justin Waters, co-host of the Staches and Glasses NBA podcast, has expressed paranoia about AI taking over. Most available content focuses on NBA games, player analysis, and light banter. So to your question, there's no indication he's publicly worried about AI domination or sounding alarm bells around it. He seems firmly in the sports commentary lane with no signs of veering into dystopian tech fears.
Well, thank you, AI. The dystopian tech fears I'm not going into, but I can go into other stuff also.
Just so you know,
that's good news.
It does know you.
No, it does. It doesn't though.
It does. It said he is firmly in the sports commentary lane. And said you're only talking about this.
To sport, because it tied that name. You could have said Bill Buckner, and it would have tied it to Staches and Glasses, because it would have been 2 and 2. That's an easy internet thing, but it don't know me. It knows of a co-host for this show, but it don't know me. He better ask way more questions than that. You're gonna have to ask ChatGPT. Get into this puzzle box.
All right. My next question: do you know who Justin Waters is?
Oh, man. He's going to be like, that sexy bastard.
Justin Waters, sometimes called J. Watts, is best known as a recurring guest and former high school teammate of Erik Fontanez on the Staches and Glasses podcast, where he and Fontanez dive into NBA analysis, pop culture, and casual banter. Beyond podcasting, he appears to be involved with creative apparel. His Instagram, @JustWater T-shirts, shows basketball-themed tees. His professional background includes working at Meta. According to his LinkedIn profile based in Los
What?
Angeles, sir.
I never worked for you, Meta. You wish you had paid me a lot. Zuckerberg.
So 2 out of 3 things. It said you're a podcast personality, 1, creative entrepreneur, 2, and tech professional.
Well, wow. I never worked for Meta, so they kind of got well.
Yeah, they were wrong about that. And so you're right.
Maybe
AI
as
isn't perfect.
talent, maybe they're gonna hire me as talent. It's foreshadowing.
But I am confident that it was correct about the whole 123C Pantone being yellow.
No, that's terrible. That just shows that's a perfect example for the world. Context is everything. You see how Eric put
What
he
context? It's either
Eric
it either
lobbed
is or it isn't.
Eric threw it off the backboard to himself. He lobbed it and then slam dunks, hangs on the rim like Shaq, talking about, yeah, AI, she's over here giving you back handshakes. Get out of here, man. You got to prompt this young lady. Listen.
Wow.
It's on the Wikipedia for the Lakers. It's on their site. That's their Pantone color.
That's the
And
Lakers saying
look-
that.
But
The
then you
Lakers
gotta
don't
fix your
dictate
screen.
whether
What's your
The
pixel
Lakers-
screen at? What are you watching?
The Lakers
It's not
don't
yellow.
dictate whether something is yellow or gold. They don't.
Okay, well, listen.
You know that.
For everybody listening, tell your friends who are Laker fans. I already solved this problem. It's called Laker Gold. I already solved it. So don't argue with AI. Don't listen to these crazy conspiracies going on here. Go on the page, check it out. You're going to see that gold. And then you're going to be like, oh, this dude, this is what he's talking about. This is that regal gold he was talking about. That luxurious gold. Aztec gold type.
The Pantone 16-0836 TPX is rich gold.
Woo! Yes. I
This-
changed the name. You
Okay.
got me.
But
Rich gold.
Pantone
They have, like-
123C is yellow.
No, dude, they have like 4 different codes for each color. I'll show you the little picture.
I don't
Watch
know how else to
Okay,
explain
here,
this
hold
to
on.
you.
Hold on.
Other
we're gonna
than looking
share
at the color.
screen. Hold on. I'm going to get it right here.
No,
Hold
you
on.
don't get to do it.
Lakers.
And that's the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys see how AI is trying to hold me back? You see Eric and AI.
I'm the one
Eric
trying
and-
to hold
yeah.
you back.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Lakers Pantone colors. I'm going to have to show you guys. Oh, funny. Oh, weird. Right there.
No,
Cool.
you're typing Lakers.
Yeah,
As if the
because-
Lakers dictate this. I wasn't
They
looking up
do.
Lakers. They don't.
No, yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
All right. Let me tell you. See, now
That's
you're going
enough.
now you're
That's
going
enough.
too far on AI. When a company has a logo and it has colors like every team has, they have their own Pantone color. Even your Knicks have a Pantone blue color and an orange one. Name it whatever the hell you want. Funky Conventina orange, whatever. Dodger blue, awesome. You can name it, but that's your Pantone. That's actual color you use for your company. If we were the Seattle Seahawks or the Seattle Supersonics, you're green. Call it legendary green. I don't care. Call it Sequoia green. It doesn't matter. But that color is your logo. And this color that I'm talking about specifically
I
is
absolutely
rich gold.
love.
AKA Laker Gold.
I love how worked up you get about this topic.
Because because you're doing it on purpose. You're throwing me in circles on purpose. I feel like a dog chasing my tail. Because you're over here misleading. Look at this. Purple. Oh, funny. It says right here, gold, Pantone, PMS 123C.
BMS is right.
Right? Yeah. Right now, AI,
Yeah,
they're
just letting you
on
laugh. So-
PMS right now. The Google search was on PMS because you
All right. All
put her
right.
to the wrong bathroom. They didn't have a disposable thing for her.
All right, dude. That's the
Water napkins.
podcast. That's the podcast. You down to do the pod again after game 7?
Yeah, and I don't have a full statement ready about this Google situation. I'm fucking heated. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, man. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Myself, man. Jesus, myself. Justin Waters _ t-shirts. You're gonna find it right there.
All right.
Just Water _ t-shirts right there. You're gonna find it.
All right.
Put this harassing to bed.
All right. You can follow the podcast Stache Glass
Yeah.
Pod or Staches Glasses Pod on
At
whichever
pharma.com.
on whichever social platforms you like. Make sure to watch us on YouTube, follow us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever it is you get your podcasting. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, Stache Gang. Stache Gang. Thanks for mounting up and recognizing Pantone 1, 2, 3.
That gold on your boots when you mount it up.
It's yellow.